You got it. You got it. You got it.
All right, you may take your seats. First thing, we're going to lay down some ground rules. There will be no swearing in my courtroom. If you do decide to leave, to use your phones and/or just to leave, period, I want you to make sure that you are searched as you come back in. So if one of the officers can make sure that they do that for me. Otherwise than that, let's get this started. This is a case versus, let me see here. Hang on one second. Let me put my notes. State of San Andreas versus Lorenzo Romano. Lorenzo Romano, are you present?
Just in time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Prosecution, are you ready to proceed?
I believe I am, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, are you ready? Please remove your mask, sir.
Oh, my bad.
All right. All right. Mr. Pemberton, you want to go ahead and give us the charges?
Yes, Your Honor. Tonight, the state will be pressing charges of 1 times PC 2317 felonious trespassing, as well as PC 3118 false personation.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Romano, how do you plead to these charges?
Not guilty.
All right, sir. All right, we'll be prepared for opening statements unless the prosecution has any pretrial motions.
I have none, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir. Let's go ahead and do the opening statements. Mr. Pemberton, go ahead and take your opening statements.
Your Honor, tonight I will be bringing forth the utmost and honorable truth to show that the defendant did in fact commit the crimes that he has been brought forth upon him tonight.
All right, thank you. Mr. Romano, do you have an opening statement, sir?
Yeah, permission to move freely, dog.
It's sir, but it's
Your Honor, sir.
Thank you.
Dog.
No dog.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I'm being charged with felonious trespass. What was the other one?
False personation.
And false personation. These claims have no merit, as I never claimed to be a bar-certified attorney, which it states in the law that I must do so to be false personations. I never said. I won't call him dog again. Continuing. As for the claims of false personation, I never once claimed to be a bar-certified attorney within the state of San Andreas. I have claimed to be an attorney of Fudge Lane. If Your Honor, if a gentleman claims to be a detective and a private investigator, but doesn't state that he is a certified by the state, does that make him a criminal? No, it does not. As for false person or felonious trespassing, I was escorted down by James Amos, Officer Amos, who opened the doors for me one by one and led me downstairs. Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Pemberton.
Hold on, I'm in court, dude. What's?
Put your phone away, sir.
That's not good, dog.
You got 3 seconds to put it away.
My bad.
If you answer it again, you get a contempt of court.
My bad.
All right, Mr. Pemberton, let's go ahead and have your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. My first witness I'd like to call to the stand is Deputy James Amos.
All right, Deputy Amos.
Yes, sir.
Come on up here and take the stand, please.
What side do you want me on, sir?
Right where I was just standing. Come over here to the bailiff and he'll swear you in.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
All right, sir. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You go ahead, take the stand.
All right. should see a microphone there.
Yep, right here, sir.
Okay. Yep. All right, Mr. Pemberton, you may proceed.
Alrighty, Deputy. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, sir.
Good. Alrighty. So, do you mind just kind of letting everyone here in the court know exactly what exactly happened with the defendant here? What kind of just walk me through kind of what exactly happened?
All right, sir. So originally, myself and Captain Stiglitz come across two individuals who had stolen a unmarked Charger. We got them medical and transported them to the cells. Upon them arriving in the cells, one of them asked for a lawyer. From my knowledge, Lorenzo was called. He came down. Captain Stiglitz told me to go upstairs and wait for him, and when he came, to bring him downstairs so that he could see his client, because we were under the assumption at the time that he was indeed an attorney. Well, I was waiting upstairs. He came down to the Sandy Shore Sheriff's Office in a four-door Mercedes-Benz AMG that was white in color. I came outside from inside of the office. He came up and he talked to me, and I said, "Are you the attorney?" He said, "Yes." And I was like, "Is your name Lorenzo?" And he said, "Yes." And I was like, "Do you have ID to prove that?" He then said, no, he did not have a driver's license. So I was like, "Is it okay if I fingerprint you to make sure that you are who you say you are before I let you inside?" He agreed. I fingerprinted him in front of the Sandy Shores office. It came back to Lorenzo Romano. I proceeded to walk him downstairs. Upon walking downstairs, he didn't talk to me at all about his client at all. He made comments about an ex-officer of the city, Vic Vendrell, who used to be sheriff. And I said to him, "Do not call me Vic Vendrell. I am not him." When we went downstairs, we went through all the doors. I let him through one at a time. When he got down to the bottom, standing there at the bottom was Stiglitz, Tucker, and I believe Hart were standing down there at the time. They stopped him and talked to him and told him to present his bar number, asked him why he was wearing a mask, and why he wasn't dressed properly in a suit. He had exchanged some words with them. He was told to leave, get changed, and return with his bar number, which he agreed. He left, and then after some time, he returned back to the Sandy Shore Sheriff's Office, and still with, I believe, no ID was present still, and at that time, he was taken into custody.
All right, so I just want to clarify here. Y'all did ask if he was an attorney, correct?
The very first things that I asked him was, "Are you an attorney?" And he agreed to that. And I was like, "Do you have identification to prove that you are indeed an attorney?" He proceeded to look for his driver's license, which he did not have. So I said, "Can I fingerprint you to verify that you are indeed who you are claiming to be?" And he agreed, and I fingerprinted him.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Lorenzo,
Yes, Your Honor, sir.
may I ask questions?
Yes, I may. How are you doing tonight, officer?
I'm doing good, sir.
All right, so you stated that I was an attorney, correct? Or that I said I was an attorney?
Correct, sir.
Did I ever once state that I was a bar certified attorney?
No, you did not, sir.
Did I ever present you with a bar number or bar card?
No, sir. That is why you were told to leave and come back with it.
Yes. Once I presented you with my identification of my finger, did you run my name in your database?
No, sir.
Did you know that I was a convicted murderer?
No, sir.
What are the repercussions for letting a convicted murderer downstairs?
I do not know, sir.
If you don't know. Did
I
you
do
make
not,
any
sir.
attempts to look up my name?
No, sir.
And you freely walked me downstairs, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you search me in any time?
No, sir.
And if you had searched me, do you think you would have found anything on me?
Sir, when you, yes, I believe I would have, because on our ride down here, you admitted to me that you had a gun the first time you were in our office. So, yes.
I did.
Yes, you
And
did, sir.
I did. Just to restate, you did not search me, correct? And you allowed me to walk downstairs with a firearm?
Yes, sir. So actually, sir, there is no proof that you indeed had the firearm. You just said that you had the firearm.
I see. Another question for if someone had arrived and said they were an investigator and you let them in the cells, would you then arrest them for impersonation even though they made no attempts to hide their identity but merely said a statement?
I do not know, sir. I was not the one who arrested you.
Once I had returned, I was told to return, correct? And change and get out of my clothing?
Yes, sir. You were told to return with a bar number and dress properly.
What was I wearing when I first arrived?
You were wearing a green jacket and a green mask, which you were told to remove while you were downstairs.
Do you have any association, or do you, let me rephrase, sorry. Have you seen that mask before, the one I was wearing?
I do not believe, sir, but I, honest to God, did not closely look at what you were wearing, sir.
Have you ever heard of Fudge Lane Hood Court?
Sir, I don't know what
Objection.
that is.
What's the objection?
Relevance.
Well,
Well, you
excuse
see,
me,
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Romano.
I then had claimed later that I was a representative of the Fudge Lane Hood Court and certified within Fudge Lane as an attorney, not within the state of San Andreas, Your Honor. That is the relevant.
Your Honor, does the court accept the Fudge Court as some form of government?
This court does not recognize Fudge Lane Court. The objection is sustained. Moving on.
Sir, may I add something?
If it was with the last question, then no.
Yes. Oh,
No.
okay.
Upon returning, was I wearing the outfit I'm wearing now?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
And what was the reason I gave for returning?
You had said gun license.
No further question.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pemberton, recross.
I've got, actually, I do got one thing. Actually, never mind. I did not, Your Honor.
Deputy, you may step down. Maybe
Yes,
you're
sir.
still under oath. Mr. Pemberton, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Is Captain Stiglitz still around?
Captain Stiglitz.
I take it as
Yeah,
not. So,
Hey, hang on. He's in his head here.
oh, okay.
Give him a second or two.
If he's not, I do have someone else I do believe is ready to go if we want to use him first.
All right. Let's go ahead and just pass him, and then, like I said, we'll come back to him. Who's your next witness?
Sergeant Tucker.
Sergeant Tucker. You approach the bailiff, please. Be sworn in.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You are good to approach the stand.
Yep, come over here to the microphone.
You might want to go to
Sergeant.
the microphone.
There you go.
We good, Your Honor?
Proceed.
All right, Sergeant. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So tonight, I believe Deputy Amos said that you was involved with this situation. When exactly did you first come in contact with Mr. Romano?
I first came into contact with Mr. Romano down there in the cells near the mugshot room. My first interaction with him, I saw him dressed in a green jacket, no shirt, green mask, and was appalled at his attire.
All right. Did y'all ask him any questions at that point?
We asked what he was doing here. There was a lot of commotion. Somebody said he was a attorney, and I questioned him on that and told him that he needed to leave, come back with more appropriate attire, and with his bar card.
And how did he respond to your questioning of him being an attorney?
He turned around and left. Shortly after that, I accessed my MDT, looked up his profile, saw that he was a convicted violent felon. Then I looked at the State Bar Association register and saw that he was not listed in there at all.
Alrighty, and I believe whenever he came back, is that whenever you placed him under arrest?
That is correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Romano, cross-examine.
Yes, Your Honor. How you doing tonight, officer?
I'm doing okay.
Just a couple questions for you. All right.
Okay.
You said I first ran into you or encountered you when I was downstairs for the first time.
That is correct.
Did you ever hear me once say that I was on the bar registry or state certified?
No, I did not.
And then when I was asked to leave to get changed and provide the appropriate documentation, if I had it, did I resist?
You did not.
And then when I came back, did I once again ever state that I was a bar certified attorney?
You did not.
And once again, did you see Officer James Amos, lead me downstairs, opening the doors for me?
Yes, he did.
No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Pemberton, recross.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Deputy, you may step down. Remember, you're still under oath.
I think he's gonna get off.
Mr. Pemberton, your next witness.
Is Captain Stiglitz awake now?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
All right, Captain Stiglitz. Please approach the bailiff and be sworn in, please.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may approach the microphone.
Are we not going to address the big explosion outside?
Somebody looks like they're going out to check it.
All right, may proceed, Mr. Pemberton.
All right, Captain, how are we doing this evening?
Good.
Good. All right. So, when exactly did you run into Mr. Romano?
When he came downstairs,
Do you know if this was the first or second time that he had been brought downstairs?
the first time.
All right. When you seen that he had came down, did you ask him any questions whatsoever?
No.
Did you overhear any of the other officers ask him any questions?
No.
Everything good out there?
All right. Did you happen to hear what Mr. Romano said at all at anything his first time being down there?
No, I did not. He had come to the gate, and I don't know if anybody said he had a mask on and a green jacket, and that was kind of concerning, for an attorney, because I had put a bleed out asking for an attorney coming to Sandy Shores, and he replied that he was on his way.
At that point, so you just to re-clarify, you said that Mr. Romano here replied to your bleed asking for an attorney, saying that he was on his way to be an attorney.
Yes.
So when he re-showed up the second time, when did you make contact with him the second time?
I was not the one that made contact with him. I was dealing with the suspect that he come to represent.
Alrighty, yeah. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Romano?
Oh, sorry, sir. How are you doing tonight, Captain?
Good.
All right, let's just get right into it. You first saw me, once again, just like the sergeant, that I was downstairs in the cells in my green jacket, correct?
Yes.
Did I make any threats? Was I cooperative in when I was told to leave and come back?
Yes.
Did I ever state that I was a bar certified attorney?
We never asked you that.
Okay, moving on. I don't really know the ranks in your police department, but captain is quite high, right?
Yes.
If you were the captain on duty and you were told of an officer leading a convicted murderer downstairs without searching him or running a background check on him, what would you do?
What's the objection?
Relevance.
Mr. Romano?
It's quite relevant to the case because that's exactly what Officer James Amos did.
Your Honor, he's asking what the disciplinary action is for something that is an internal, nothing that has to do with this court case.
I believe it's
Sustain.
quite relevant.
Sustain. Let's move on.
I have no further questions.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pemberton, recross.
I've got nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Captain, you may step down. Maybe you're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Pemberton, anybody else?
I believe I'm good, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Romano, you have any witnesses that you need to call?
No, sir.
All right. Proceed to closing statements. Mr. Pemberton, since you went first with openings, we'll have Mr. Romano go first this time.
Your Honor, I object to that as it's the prosecution's reason to prove that I did something. I don't go first. I will not go first.
All right, fine. Mr. Pemberton, go ahead and do your closing.
Absolutely, Your Honor. So I do believe here this evening that we came to the realization that Mr. Romano did respond to a bleep that it came out asking for an attorney, and then had also went forth being under the assumption that he was an attorney. Now, regardless if the officer did that or not, it was still the fact that he was still portraying to be as an attorney, which is what the charge that he's being charged with for the false personation. And then he was also in a restricted area that he was not allowed to be in, and that's also due to the fact that he was also impersonating someone. He was also in a restricted area, and so therefore that is also why he should also be charged with the felonious trespassing.
All right, thank you. Mr. Romano?
Yes. Your Honor, throughout these entire witness statements, all of them added up that I never once stated that I was a bar certified attorney, which, as the law states, that must be a requirement. As I never said I was bar certified or ever gave false identification that I was a bar certified attorney within the state of San Andreas, you cannot reasonably charge me with that. As well as the fact that Officer Amos, throughout his whole negligence of his action, led me downstairs without doing a proper background check or seeing if I had the proper identification to get downstairs to perform the duties of an attorney. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all.
All right, this court will take a 5-minute recess while I come to my verdict. Mr. Romano, you'll be reprimanded back to custody for the time being.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
permission to approach the bench.
Yes, come forward.
Hey, we've got some officers in distress right now.
Am I gone?
Myself and Amos be released from the court,
Yes, sir.
or do we need to stick around?
No, you're fine.
Do I stay here or do I go in the
Okay,
cell?
thank you, sir. Amos, we're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, don't log.
All right, may you go ahead and take your seats.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in the state versus Lorenzo Romano. Lorenzo, will you please stand and hear your charges?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Lorenzo, you face the charges of PC 2317, felonious trespassing, and PC 3118, false personation.
Yeah.
Again, how do you plead to these charges?
Not guilty?
All right. In the opinion of this court, Mr. Romano, of the first charge, felonious trespassing. This court finds you guilty because of the fact that you had zero reason to be on the premises and/or in the building in the first place, even if you were escorted around by the staff and/or sheriff's department employees. You still had no reason to be there, claiming that you were a bar certified lawyer. Charge number 2, PC 3118, false personation. Did the defendant ID himself as a bar certified lawyer? The answer is no. In all evidence, I did not hear one officer ever say that they asked if you were a bar certified lawyer. However, he was asked for his bar certification and number before entering. So this court finds you not guilty of said crime. In this recommendation, this court also reprimands the Blaine County Sheriff's Department for their misappropriations of allowing this person to be escorted into their building, without doing proper background checks. This court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.